So today we're doing, because in the previous lesson we looked at passage 1 and passage 2, we're going to look at passage 3 and passage 1 today, all right? So yes, today's passage is called Rewards for Scientific Achievement. Rewards for Scientific Achievement. So when I made an achievement in the scientific field, what kind of rewards I was given? Probably that's about it, because the title is self-explanatory. So imagine all of these people who achieved, scientific excellence. Now, yes, okay, that's about it. So, and I see the usual types of questions. As usual in passage 3, you have yes, no, not given, then multiple choice, then summary completion with a box of options, right? So once you kind of make sure when you open your question booklet, go over the test, like look through the test past pages and then see what you have in each passage. Like it's also important what makes a passage an easy or difficult one. It's usually the topic. I think today's topic is an easier one. It's not something philosophical. It's something not related to psychology or education. Usually what makes something difficult or easy is the topic at hand. So today's topic, I believe, is quite an easy one. Because it seems descriptive, not something discursive. The belief that progress depended on scientists benefiting from their work dates from the 17th century. Okay, you see, most people, why do they struggle passage 3? Because for them, I think it's even difficult to realize that this is subject. This is subject because there, again, grammar gets in the way. Usually people cannot do well because their grammar is not good enough. So this idea dates from, actually, like, this is the subject. That belief dates from 17th century. This is the subject, verb, and then you call it, what do you call it? This is dates from the 17th century. I guess it's like the grammar name complete. What do you call it in grammar? Subject, verb, then what's the last section? Modifier? No, it's not modifier. The belief in, okay. No, belief. Tuldruche. Okay, it's not object though. In English, there's a name for that. Okay, whatever, I forgot. So this, okay, somebody actually wrote, no, everybody has been saying object. So believe that progress depended on scientists benefiting from their work. All right, you see, this is the subject. Progress dependent on scientists benefiting from their work. Again, this is also, in this subject, there's another subject. The progress dependent on, I'm sorry that I'm fixating on this too much. I'm talking about this one too much, but you need to realize that what subject, right? That belief dates from the 17th century. That's it. All right. And then early scientists could be confident of receiving patronage. Hopefully I'm pronouncing it correctly. If they dedicated, they could be confident. If they appropriately. Galileo considered discovery of the moons of Jupiter. So how many moons are there in Jupiter? There are many moons of Jupiter, 86, something like that. To be one of his most important contributions to, did he consider it's the most important? Some gifts given by patrons were more welcome than others. Some of them were more welcome than others. What did promoters of science begin to understand by the, what did the promoters of science begin to understand? What was scientific reformers' greatest concern? What was the greatest concern about patronage system? Why does the writer refer to row of statues? It was accepted under one of Samuel Huberman's Hartlib's schemes. It was accepted that, what is the writer doing in the 8th paragraph? So you need to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, so you go here and you write 35. Okay, that's where 35 comes from, right? And then you're offering rewards for solutions to problems. Scientific progress has long been encouraged through prizes. Okay, a famous case was that of the reward offered in 1714 by the British government to resolve the problem of maritime something. It's something related to sea. The practice of prize giving persists today, even continues today. In some cases, I think I cannot make bigger than this. This is how big it can get. The same is true for this one too. You know, it's not possible to make it bigger than this. I mean, otherwise I cannot. All right. Just a second. Come on. I don't know why it's on. Okay, whatever. All right. So the price of prize giving persists today. In some cases, for example, Simon Foundation's cracking the glass problem details provided on the particular areas of something, particular areas. I told you, if you remember, we practiced this one. Prize giving changed the way in which people engaged in scientific discovery. Scientists today may still have to secure something. For example, this one, it's very easy. 38. There is only one word that collocates with secure. Secure as a verb and secure. Can you secure inventions? Which one fits collocation wise? There's only one of them that fits. Which one collocates with secure? You cannot secure your interests. No, you cannot secure strategy. No. Secure funding, all right, come from big. Yes. Only thing that you can secure is funding, right? For your research. I was, again, in the previous lesson, I was telling, most of the time you can do this one even without looking at the question, without looking at the text. But they reassure themselves with the fact that although there might be a little something of them winning a problem. Again, this one is also so obvious. I don't even have to read. I know what the answer is because I know I look at the options. I see like there is only one of them that of them winning. Grammar and collocation helps me. At least they have no longer have to satisfy the arbitrary. Again, this one is also because there is only one of them that fits with arbitrary of their individual patterns. So when you're doing these, last question type, it's like usually very easy to guess what the answer will be because you can use your logic and your language skills. Logic, obviously, which words fits best, and grammar and collocation. All right, for like, no, that's not true. That's not true. But okay, let's go. You'll see that. You'll see like again, what am I going to look at question number 36 and 40? Okay, I keep in mind from test point of view, this type of question usually comes from one paragraph. It usually comes from one paragraph, right? So that's why just looking at 17 and this word is more than enough for me, all right? So I can now focus on the other two questions, all right? So let's go. While the Nobel Prize is over 150 years old, rewards for scientific achievement have been around much longer. All right, Nobel Prize 115 years old. As early as the 17th century, at the very origins of modern experimental science, promoters of science realized that the need for some system of recognition and reward that would provide incentives for the advances in the field. When you realize you found the relevant part, you just need to check if it's true. The belief that progress depended on scientists benefiting from their work dates from the 17th century. As early as 17th, at the origins of modern experimental science, promoters realized that that's a belief. That's the synonym for belief. That need for some system of recognition and reward that it would provide incentive for advances in the field. Advances in the field, it would benefit from, progress dependent. Progress is synonym for advance. Dependent on scientific benefiting from their work, they needed to get some sort of recognition in the world. The recognition benefiting from their work. So that's true. So for question number 27, it's going to be yes. You find the relevant part, you compare everything against what you have, and then you choose the answer. Before the prize, it was the gift that dominated the science. They didn't give the prize, they gave gifts. Okay. Precursors to modern scientists. Precursor is something that has to happen before something else can happen, right? To modern scientists, the early astronomers, philosophers, physicians, alchemists, and engineers offered wonderful discoveries, inventions, and works of literature and gift to powerful patrons and offer royalty, meaning often kings and queens. So these people who can create something, physicians and alchemists, they are saying, I can create something for you, king or queen, they're telling. All right. Many scientists preface like said in advance their publications before they start their publications with extravagant letters of dedication. They might or they might not be rewarded with a gift in return. However, they might or might not be rewarded with a gift. Well, early scientists could be confident or could not be confident. What's the answer? Yes, the answer is no. Why? Because here it says, like, if you look at it, the text says, well, they could be confident, they could not be confident, right? So the answer is no. But here it says they might receive and they might not receive. So the answer is going to be 28. No. Eventually, different kinds of incentives, including prizes, awards, um, as well as new salaried academic positions became more common in the favor of the particularly patrons diminished in importance. Look at that over time. But at the height of Renaissance, early scientists relied on gifts from powerful princes to compensate and advertise their efforts. That's what they relied on. But by the way, it turns out I missed 17 because they're talking about early 17th century. We already read about it, right? So 31, I missed it. Okay, what did promoters of science realize? Because there's also promoters of science here. The benefits of making science more appealing. Are they trying to make science more attractive? Were these people trying to make science more attractive? Were they trying to make it more attractive? No. They just recognize that if scientists get some sort of recognition, there will be progress. That's what they realized. They realized there will be progress if scientists get recognition, right? The importance of up-to-date equipment. Did they mention equipment? No, nothing about equipment right here. The impact of inaccurate. Oh, it turns out there's not that because, all right, because it turns out there is also by the early 17th century, because I'm looking at all the answer choices and none of the answers like fits with this part. So that's why it turns out, no, I don't know it yet. All right, so it was good that we didn't even focus on it. So you're going to continue with courtiers all vying for. Anybody knows what vying for means? Vying for, competing, right? A patron's attention, competing for a patron. So imagine you are going to be given something by the king. So you are trying to get the king's attention. Scientific gift had to be presented with drama and flair. Flair means style. The astronomer Galileo Galilei presented his newly discovered moons of Jupiter to Medici dukes to Italy as a gift that was literally out of this world. All right, he gifted these moons as a gift. In return, the Medici family ennobled him, I hope that's how it's pronounced, with a title and position of court philosopher and mathematician. They gave him this title. If a gift succeeded, the gift giver, like Galileo in this case, be fortunate enough to receive a gift in return. Okay, if gift succeeded, if gift is good enough, then gift giver would be like fortunate enough to receive a gift in return. Gift givers could not, however, predict what form of a patron's gift would take, and they might find themselves burdened with offers they couldn't refuse. All right. Gift givers, however, might be burdened with offers they couldn't refuse. For example, the great Danish astronomer received everything from exotic animals to chemical secrets in return for his discoveries. So this Danish guy, for example, when he discovered something, he got exotic animals, he got some, chemical secrets. All right, I have two answers here. Did Galileo consider his discovery of moons to be one of the most important inventions? Do we have what he believed about his discovery of moons? So is it the answer? No, it's not. No, Sivara. I think it's not given, right, guys? It's not given because we don't know whether he believed it was, we know it was out of this world, right? But we don't know whether that was what he believed, right? That out of this world means it was just great. All right, so the answer is going to be what? Not given. All right, what about the final question? What about the final question, guys? What do you think? Some gifts bestowed by patrons who are more welcome than others? Okay, did they compare if there was some gifts that were more well accepted or better accepted than other gifts? Last question, guys. Last questions. Question number 30. Again, read the relevant line, guys. Read the relevant line. Read the relevant line. So the answer is from here, right? From here to here. I'm sorry for noise. Okay, the answer is what? Yes. No. The answer is yes. Why? Yes, let me explain why it's yes. Because okay, is it too noisy? Is it too noisy? Can you hear me well? Because we have a person working here. All right, no, not too noisy. All right, that's it's okay. Because they have to install something here in the education center. So basically, look, Galileo, what did he give to the king? He gave to the king moon. Okay, that's my gift. And if a gift succeeded, in his Galileo's case, it succeeded. The gift giver, who's the gift giver? Usually the king, right? Usually the king, like king would be fortunate enough to receive a gift in return. Oh no, the king, not gift giver. Who's the gift giver, by the way? Gift giver, gift giver is here, scientist, right? Scientist. So the gift giver, scientist giving gift to the king. In return, they might receive a gift. Gift givers could not, however, predict what form of patron's gift would take, but they wouldn't know what the king would give. Patron here, king. What kind of gift they would receive in return? They might find themselves burdened with offers they couldn't refuse. Sometimes they could be burdened with offers. You are being given a gift, but that's not such a good gift, right? But it's be given by king. You cannot say no because otherwise king kills you. You know, Tycho the Brave, the great Danish Renaissance astronomer, received anything from exotic animals to chemical secrets in return for his discoveries. So that means some, so the gifts given by patrons were welcome. Like some of them were good, some of them were stupid gifts. Because sometimes they were burdened with offers they couldn't what? Say no to. So the answer is going to be what? Yes, some gifts were more welcome than others, because I can say, for example, in Galileo's case, he was given this good title. But sometimes with this Danish guy, for example, he received some stupid exotic animals or some chemical secrets for his discoveries for his Danish king. Did you understand? Mana user. Okay, I'm gonna have to use okay, some gifts bestowed by patrons. Patrons here kimdir? Masalan, king. King anaqa beribdi. Sovg'a bergan ba'zi sovg'alar more welcome than others deyapti. Ba'zi sovg'alar boshqa sovg'alardan yaxshi qabul qilingan. Yaxshi qabul qilingan. Ya'ni shunaqa desak bo'ladi. Xursand bo'lib qabul qilib olingan. Xuddi shunaqa bo'lgan ekan. Misol uchun Galileo oyni topib berganda Jupiterda 86 tami oyi bor. Shohga borgan, shoh degan, men oyi topdim degan, men senga degan, keyin shoh aytgan, ol senga degan, senga title beraman degan. Sen endi sud filosoferi bo'lasan, sen matematiksan, senga zo'r titleda position berib tashlabdi. Lekin gift sovg'a ilmiy kashfiyot qilib sovg'a berayotgan sovg'a beruvchilar har doim ham yaxshi sovg'alar olmagan ekan. Chunki ba'zi vaqtlar they might sometimes not burdened with offer they couldn't refuse. Rad etolmaydigan shoh man senga deydi bu e, qanaqadir yoqimsiz sovg'a beradi, yaxshi emas sovg'a beradi. Boyagi oddiy olim uni rad eta olmaydi. Misol uchun deyapti, great Danish philosopher deyapti, qanaqadir exotic animallardan tortib qanaqadir chemical secretlari olgan ekan. Demak, others here, some gifts will be sold by welcome. Gifts here, others. Gifts and others the same. Other gifts demoqchida endi. Jasurbek. Did you understand now? I guess after lesson number 6, you realize it's all about matching the words and understanding the text. So we've been doing 2 passages every day. Am I reading this way, for example? Like this way? And I'm finishing not reading this and not reading that? No. So the only way to find all the answers is to read what you're reading, to understand what you're reading. That's the only way. How do you understand everything you're reading? By reading more and by learning all the new words. All right. By the early 17th century, scientific promoters realized that gift giving was ill-suited to encouraging experimental science. They realized we cannot just give them gifts and think that it's going to just be fine. So they realized that. So what did they do? Experimentation required many individuals to collect data in many places across long periods of time. So they realized many people need to be working together across long periods of time. Gifts emphasize competitive individualism. For science to progress, there has to be collaboration, and gift giving only promotes individualism. At a time when scientific collaboration, often humdrum of work of empirical observation were paramount. So what was important, empirical observation and collaboration was important. So what did they realize in the 17th century? They realized we cannot just be promoting individual, we need to work together. So which one of these answers do you think is the answer? Exactly. So the answer is D. The answer is D, because the need for scientists to share their work with another. Individuals need to collect data. In many places, they need to, collaborate. They need to collaborate together. That means work together. So I'm going to continue. Why am I not looking at question number 36, guys? Why am I not looking at question number 36? Because they didn't mention 1714. Again, I always keep an eye on the questions. Some of you guys are asking me, how do I keep an eye? Because I'm always keeping an eye on the questions. No, that's not because it comes after 7. No, it could actually come here. We don't know that. We don't know that, but it's just, you see, we chose the 1714 as a keyword. That's why. While it was accepted that some competitive rivalry helped inspire advanced science, scientific reformers believed that too much led to ostentation, and that too often plagued courtly gift giving. Most of all, guys, tell me a synonym for most of all in our question. What's the synonym for most of all? What's synonym for most of all? So that's where the answer comes from. You know that, right? Because you're always, in the previous lesson, I told you, always pay attention to adjectives and try to find synonyms for adjectives, right? Most of all, reformers feared an individual would not tackle a problem that could not be finished and presented to a pattern in his or her lifetime. Even if they did, their findings might die with them. So they realized, so somebody might not do a job because if they thought it wouldn't be, good idea for them to take on this task if they cannot be sure that they can finish it in their lifetime. So that's why they would only do tasks that can take short time. So that was their biggest fear. Okay, I just need to find synonym for this part. Be finished and presented to life. If I find the synonym for that in one of the answer choices, I found the answer. It was often restricted to royal courts. It led to unhealthy competition. It resulted not always being judged. It encouraged research that took many years to complete. Which one of these is an answer? Yes, guys, so the answer is what? D, because like the answer is D indeed. Because they would only do they wouldn't do it, they wouldn't tackle a problem that could not be finished. So that means they're only taking on jobs that can be finished in their lifetime. So that doesn't take many years. So it encouraged scientists to avoid research that took many years to complete. They're not doing tasks that take many years to complete. So greatest concern is synonym for most of all. So that's why the answer is D. For these reasons, promoters of experimental science saw the reform of rewards as integral to radical changes. So these people are saying we need the reform of rewards. We need to change the way rewards are given. For example, Sir Francis Bacon, or Bacon, I don't know how to read that. It looks like bacon. Lord Chancellor of England, an influential booster of experimental science, emphasized the importance of approximation, so unfinished attempts at reaching a particular goal. Instead of dissipating their efforts attempting to appease patrons, many researchers, he hoped, could be stimulated to work toward the same ends. End means goal. Via, or well, any of them correct, publicized research wish list. Okay. Bacon coined the term desiderata. I guess that's a popular word, desiderata, still used by researchers today to donate widespread research goals. He also suggests that many ingenious ways, many clever ways, ingenious means clever ways, to advance discovery by stimulating the human hunger for fame. Humans naturally, by nature, hungry for fame. A row of statues celebrating famous inventors of the past, for example, could be paired with a row of empty plinth upon which researchers might imagine their own busts one day resting. This guy said, why don't we put empty, like these foundations, and the researchers scientists who are practicing, they will be like, after I create my statue could be here. So he found different ways of encouraging writers to dedicate their life to science. And one way, in his opinion, was creating this empty plinth upon which researchers imagined, or my statue will be there. All right. So what did he do? Which one of these is the option? Guys, those who chose A, you are missing the point. Those who choosing A, you're missing the point. Why? Okay, here I need to talk about something. When they use the refer to, you need to find the main idea. Why are we like, you need to find the main idea. When do I use main idea? Okay, what you usually do, you use main idea, then you give example. So what you need to do, you need to go backwards, right? So row of statues, which one of these things were mentioned? If you look at it, something that was previously mentioned was hunger for fame. So you need to look at the previous sentence and then find synonym for that. I think I need to refer nimaga bu gapni ishlatdi deb ishlatsa, misolni qachon beramiz biz? Misolni main ideani ko'rsatish uchun beramiz, to'g'rimi? O'shaning uchun undan oldingi gapga qarash kerak. Nima uchun bu gapni aytdi? Nima uchun bu gapni aytdi? Because undan oldin aytdi, u boshqa yo'llarni, aqlli yo'llarni ham aytdi. Misol uchun biz insonlarni mashhurlikka bo'lgan xohishidan foydalansak bo'ladi debdi. Shunday qilib, qator qilib bo'sh anaqalarni qo'yib qo'yamiz, o'ylaydiki, mani ertaga mani haykalim bu yoqda turishi mumkin. Demak, u how desire for recognition could be exploited. Shundan foydalansa bo'lishligini aytib ketgan ekan. Odamlar mashhurlikka erishish xohlar ekan, right? So fame, recognition, how it could be exploited, he suggested an ingenious way to, he's using that. That's such a good question. In IELTS exam, there are always refer to questions. How do I find? You find that example, you look at the previous main idea. If you find the main idea, you find the answer. Bacon's techniques inspired one of his chief admirers, reformer Samuel Hartlib, to collect many schemes for reforming the system of recognition. One proposed that rewards should go not only to such exactly hit the mark, but even to those that probably miss it. I was trying to invent something. I didn't really invent it, but I came really close to it, because their errors would stimulate the others and make active brainies to breed. It's like, it's very old English, right? Hardly planned a centralized office systemizing rewards for those expect rewards for services done to king or state and know not where to pitch and where to desire, blah, blah, blah. So basically this guy said, we should give gifts to not only people who actually invented something, to even people who tried but couldn't invent that thing. So what's the answer? What's the answer? Look at, find synonym for that, and then you'll find the answer. Two people only wrote in the comments, 2 people, 3 people. They all chose the same answer. Dinara chose the same answer. Anyone else? Or everyone is choosing B. Yes, the answer is indeed B. Because look, he said, well, that's what he said. We should not go to give such exactly that hit the mark. You know the expression, hit the mark, right? But even to those that probably miss it, because their errors would stimulate others and make active brainies to bid about their new inventions. So like that's bringing about means causing positive results. Their mistakes led to this. So that's why the answer is going to be 34, going to be B. Final answer of like question of like what do you call it? Matching multiple choice, right? Collaborative scientific societies. Okay, now there are scientific societies beginning in the mid-century, distanced rewards from whims and demands of individual patrons. They distances themselves. So imagine there is a society, group of scientists. When a king said, I want this, they said, no, I don't want to be associated with you. Okay. The periodicals, can you guys tell me what periodicals are? Periodicals, what are periodicals? What are periodicals? What are periodicals? It's just a publication, right? Journal kind of thing, magazine, right? Kind of similar to that, publication, right? That many new scientific societies started publishing, offered a new medium that allowed authors to tackle ambitious research problems that might not individually produce a complete publication pleasing to dedicatee. The society saw their periodicals as a means to entice discovery by offering credit. These societies use these publications by saying, if you invent something, we're going to write it in our publication. Your name will be in the publication. Today's Leopoldina, the German National Scientific Society, founded its publication in 1670. According to its bylaws, those who might not otherwise publish their findings could see them exhibited to the world with praiseworthy mention of their name, an important step on the way to standardizing scientific citation. This German publication, German society, made its first publication in 1670, and they told the scientists, can you imagine your name being exhibited to the whole world? That's what they said. All right, so what's the writer doing? Are they explaining how journals contributed to scientific progress? How journals contribute to scientific progress? I like it. That's a good answer, right? B, describing how research projects became more ambitious, more difficult, how more wanted to achieve more. No, indicating how scientific societies expanded their membership. Did they talk about how scientific societies, included more people? Suggesting how nations attracted the best scientific researchers. Now, like, for example, how Germany attracted the best, it wasn't about it. So it was about how periodicals were useful to create. It was an important step on the way to standardizing scientific citation, right? So that's why the answer is A. DDCBA. Okay, kind of makes sense to me. All right, last 2 paragraphs contain the answers for question 36. All right, let's go. States might also offer rewards for solutions to problems. Okay, governments. Not most famously in the case of the prize offered by the British government for figuring out how to determine longitude at the sea. How do you determine longitude at sea? All right, how to determine. So that was something that they asked for a solution. Some in the 17th century likened this long-sought discovery to philosopher's stone. The idea of using a prize to highlight a specific problem is alive and well today. Even today, it exists. Alive today, it means Persists. So that means I missed the answer for question 34. Maritime, what? Longitude. You just need to find synonym for longitude. What's the synonym? Okay, how to determine longitude. So maritime, what? Invention, strategy, investigation, livelihood, facility, funding, navigation, ambition, collaboration. Which one is synonym for 36? Yeah, navigation, find yours. So the synonym is going to be determine. Determine is going to be synonym. That, in fact, some contemporary scientific researchers set forth specific questions that still need to be resolved. These details are provided on particular areas, so that should be focused on. Contemporary scientific prizes set forth specific questions that need to be resolved. The details are provided on particular areas of that should be focused on. What's the answer for 37? 37. Set forth specific questions that still need to be resolved. No. 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 Particular area of something that should be focused on. There are details that provide on particular area of something that should be. No, you need to find. No, guys. No. There's only so far one person. One person got it. Two people. Three people now. Three people. Okay, area of. Can I say area of invention? Can I say area of invention, guys? Area of invention. Can I say area of invention? Qarang, mana shu joyda men sizga o'zbekchada aytaman. Men bu savolni to'g'risini aytaman. Tekstni o'qimasdan ham topsa bo'ladi-da buni. Mana tekstda sinonimni aniq topasiz, lekin javob oydin, chunki ikkita narsani bilishingiz kerak. Collocationni bilishingiz kerak. Grammatik jihatdan to'g'ri kelgandan keyin logikaga to'g'ri keladimi tekshiramiz. Xo'p, misol uchun deyapti, nimanidirni detallari berilgan deyapti. Provide on particular area. Xo'p, area bilan qaysi so'z ishlatiladi? Collocation bo'ladi. Area of invention deya olmayman. Area of strategy deya olmayman. Area of investigation deya olaman. Hozircha olib qolaman. Area of likelihood deya olmayman. Area of facilities deya olmayman. Area of funding, strange. Area of navigation, ambitions, collaboration, interest, area of interest. Bu ham g'alatiroq. Bitta tushadigan area of investigation. Tekshirib ko'raman, sinonim bormi yo'qmi? If there is synonym, yes. Specific questions that need to be resolved. Questions, if I'm asking questions, I'm investigating. So the answer is going to be what? C. With this question, it's impossible to get answers wrong most of the time. I'm not saying, usually you can just find answer even without reading it. The shift from gift giving to prize winning completely transformed the rules of engagement in scientific discovery. Of course, the need for monetary support hasn't gone away. Obtaining financial support still can be a sizable part of what it takes to get science done today. So you need to get, financial support. All right, obtaining. So that's the answer. Scientists still may have to secure what? To get science done. That's question number 38. 38. 38, guys. What? So yes, you guys are right. So 38 is going to be funding, guys. Funding. 38. So the answer is funding. All right. Funding is like support, financial support. Financial support. And succeeding in grand competition might seem mystifying, but winning a career changing might come as a bolt out of the blue. If you just find the synonym for this, come as out of the blue, come out of nowhere when you don't expect. Which one? So the answer 39 is D. So little likelihood means, guys, likelihood means probability. Probability. Probability, it might come out of the bolt out of the blue. It's just now simply testing the vocabulary. Do you have that vocabulary? Do you know that synonym? That's what it's testing. The last question. And finally, but researchers can take comfort. They no longer have to present their inventions on bended knee as wondrous gifts that will appeal to whims of. So you need to just now find synonym for whims for question number 40. Is it ambitions or is it interests. There are, I think, two answers, likelihood, right? Which one do you think is the answer? But whims. Some of you choosing J as an answer. No, I don't. I think it's ambitions, right? Ambition. What is ambition? Ambition is something that you want to achieve, right? Something that you want to achieve. What does whim mean? With win. Whim means a sudden wish. A whim is it's a sudden wish or sudden want. Whereas ambition is also the same. Ambition is also something you want to achieve, something you want to what achieve, right? Arbitrary ambition, that's synonym for whim. So you just need to use right arbitrary ambitions. So that last answer is going to be not appeal. I think that's not because of appeal. Again, I explained what's ambition is synonym for. You need to use synonym for whim, guys. That was an interesting passage, right? So yeah, I think we can we continue with passage 1? Any questions about passage 3, guys? I think if you have questions, let's deal with it now. Otherwise, we're going to move on to passage 1. $28. What's up with 28? All right, 28. Here it says, mana olimlar, dastlabki olimlar agar o'zlari hayotini baxshida qilsa, sog'a olishiga aniq ishongan deyapti. Confident bo'lgan. Men olimman, o'ylayapman, umrimni baxshida qilsam, aniq menga shoh bir narsa beradi deyapman. Lekin tekst aytyapti, yo'q deyapti. They might or might not. O'sha mightmi, u confident emas u. Sog'a olishi ham mumkin, sog'a olmasligi ham mumkin. Shuning uchun javob no. Xo'p, 39. There might be little likelihood. Likelihood mana bu joyda aytdi. Voy, qarab ketdik-ku. Grant competitionlarda yutish qanaqadir mystichni, like mystifying, unclear bo'lishi mumkin. Hattoki karyerani o'zgartirib qo'yadigan Nobel ham to'satdan kelib qolishi mumkin. Demak, to'satdan kelib qolsa, bu demak likelihood kam. Shuning uchun little bilan qaysi so'z tushadi? Keyin grammatikasiga ham e'tibor bersangiz, grammatikasiga bitta tushadigan so'z shu. Ya'ni reading faqat bu bitta so'zni bilishingiz ham emas, bu yoqda hozir ozgina grammatika ham bilishingiz kerak. Grammar bilmasangiz bo'lmaydi. Grammar bilan collocation. All right? Keyin logic. A bit of logic. 5 gram logika kerak. Right?